Hi, I'm Meire Yamaguchi, I'm a karma coach, and today I'm coming here to talk about family karma. Often, events can occur from disease or conflicts which can find resonance in family story. Dramas of accidents, bankruptcies, separations, tragedies of all kinds can result from a family pattern. The family is a system that influences each of its components. Where there are situations crystallized in anger, sadness, anguish, they tend to repeat themselves for generations until they find a solution based on love. When the energy is healthy, it helps produce a full and happy life for all its members. To understand how this message of family trauma can pass on to future generations, we need to understand epigenetics. Epigenetics is a branch of research that studies the factors that alter the expression of genes. Epi comes from Greek, meaning above the genes, outside, around. What observed is that epigenetics would be, among other effects, the link between emotions and genes. According to the study on the hungry winter of 1944 to 45 in Holland, made by the University of Zurich, this link passes up to 5 generations ahead. The researchers recreated specific childhood traumas in rats and separated the traumatized mite from his descendants. Even without learning from the parent, the descendants repeat their traumatized behavior. In this case, obesity rates increased as a mechanism of transgenerational protection from hunger. In other words, past traumas are fixed in the genetic inheritance and have influenced generations after death. And how these genetic modifications can influence our lives. That's what psychogenealogy explains. Psychogenealogy starts from the premise that certain unconscious behaviors are transmitted from generation to generation and impede the subject's self-realization. Anne Ansley Schutzenberger was one of the founders of this thought. She was a psychologist and psychotherapist and began to compile factors that would explain the influence of family story on a person's biography. She tells this event. Our house was burned down by the Germans on Sunday, June 5th, 1944 in Lozère, because inside it there was a weapon depot for the resistance, and I never blamed them because it seems a fair game to me. And we lost everything, including my papers, address books, and diary. So I was also surprised to have my purse stolen and lose everything on June 5th, 2000. So what is silent in the first generation, the second carries and it is fine. It's like said by François Dolto. We all have these stories. Are they strangest coincidences or are they unknown laws? These laws of documents on the same date, separate by almost 60 years, is what in psychogenealogy defines as the birthday date syndrome. Other phenomena that psychogenealogy studies are the design patient, who is that family member more sensitive and who carries family conflicts and diseases or imbalances, or the firstborn syndrome, who carries responsibilities and sacrifices himself for his family of origin. And he studies the invisible loyalties to conscious or unconscious family, laws, and many more. But for an individual who become aware of the phenomenon and be able to dissociate himself from them, it's necessary to study his family tree. The main instrument of psychogenealogy is the genosociogram, family tree that takes in account traumas, abuses, violences, losses, exodus, abandonment, and other factors that can only be processed after they are evident. You may think, but I don't know my family story. Well, we are one with the informational field of the family. As soon as you start to search, the information appears. And many cases happens. And people report always the same thing. Something unexpectedly happens. It's like the grandmother's diary that you discovered at random at the time of a change, or some very far relative that find you through the internet. But nothing so simple. The problem also attracts the solution, so we are never unarmed. You're not a whiteboard. Freud said, if the psychic process did not continue from one generation to the next, each one should acquire each time a new relationship with life. So you acquire traumas and even intergenerational debts from your genetic inheritance, but also abilities and healing. My therapeutic work as a karma coach is to recognize the turning points in a person's life and associate them more widely with past events, bringing healing and resolution of past traumas. I'm Meire Yamaguchi, I'm a karma coach, and I see you next time. See you later.